Well, all right. It is October the 6th, and let's get with it. Today is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. I hope you are enjoying your Sunday. This one is not pre-recorded, so guess what? You're about to get an earful. So be sure you have carved out an hour for yourself today because it's about you. When I do the podcast, I am thinking about you, thinking about me as a survivor. This is a healing time for us both. I am going through my journey. You're going through yours. I just choose to share mine. So maybe one day you would share yours. So again, thank you for subscribing to Why Not Me, Li Shey Johnson's podcast. You can also catch me on YouTube, Why Not Me, October 1, Li Shey Johnson. There's about 89 episodes, so if you have not tuned into the YouTube, I suggest you start at YouTube number 1. Or you can fast forward to YouTube number 87. But if you want to know the story, what has happened, the journey in the last 2 years, start at the YouTube number 1. Now, as far as the podcast, today is episode number 15, The System. Let's call it what it is. The system. Bondage is what I want to call it. The system. So remember, I do have hats available. They are $15. I also have t-shirts available. They are $20. On the front of the hat, on the front of the t-shirt, it says, Why Not Me? October 1. The t-shirts are black with white lettering. So this is episode number 15. Last week we talked about discovering people, discovering your spouse or your children, your co-workers, quote unquote Christians, or quote unquote all these faithful people that have a word for you at this time. Be careful, because remember, I am going to tell you that God doesn't make any mistakes. And I am going to say to myself, remember that I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a therapist. I am not a nurse. I am not a deep religious person. I am just sharing with you what has happened to me. So you would call this my testimony, and I'm just sharing with you what I'm going through. So before we get to talk about the system, let me share with you that I went to see the chiropractor last week. So if you know anything about a chiropractor, he pulled my ankle, jerked my ankle. I was on some ice, but to be honest with you, I didn't feel any different between the chiropractor and my physical therapist. So needless to say, October the 15th, I am going for my second opinion, and we'll just take it from there. But like I said, God doesn't make any mistakes. I chose to be at the Harvest Country Festival that night. Did I have to work it? No, because I was already financially okay. I had received an email saying, Shay, I know you had resigned, but we want you to come and work this 3-day event because we are short-handed. You're going to be working in the VIP section. So I thought it could not be that bad. So let's go back again. Pause, rewind. I made that decision to go and work the country concert. Okay? There was nobody else but me. How about you? You bought tickets, with yourself, your co-workers, your girlfriends, whatever, we made the decision to go. Now, what happened? It was out of our control. Okay, so don't let what happened to you dictate where you're getting ready to go in your future. We have been through pure hell. So the topic today that I want to talk about is the system. So next week, number 16, episode 16, is going to be on being organized. Because if you are all over the place, you can't get anything accomplished. Then we're going to talk about episode 17, a call to action. So wherever you are, think about giving back. This is my way of giving back by telling my story. So each and every one of us as a survivor, we can give back and help the next person. Then episode number 18, I'm going to have a guest speaker. So I don't know if you recall that I'm actually doing For Brain is what it's called. So you can do www.brain solution or the brain solution, and it's Christine Lopez. She is going to be my guest speaker on October the 27th, and I'm going to share something with you. I have gone through 14 sessions with Christine Lopez. Her techniques and what she is going to talk about is how to help you refocus, because we have gone through trauma and there's a blockage with a lot of things. So her programs help you to refocus. So I'm very honored that she has agreed to come, and we're just going to talk about it. So that session is probably going to be about a good hour, because I'm going to let her do her thing, and then I'm going to share what I experienced and how it helped me. So that's going to be on October the 27th. And then episode number 19 is about self-care, because what we have experienced, sometimes we let ourselves go. So this is why I tell you, you're going to have a circle of new friends, because your old friends, they are wanting you to get over it because they don't understand. And this is their way of coping, but it's really not helping you. So the more you talk about it, the better your healing process is going to be. So don't try to bury it. Don't try to put an ace bandage around it. Don't try to put a band-aid on it. What you need to do, it is my recommendation as an event planner, not my recommendation as a nurse or a psychiatrist or someone holier than thou, because none of those are me. I am an event planner. As an event planner, I am going to tell you to go seek professional help. A third party that does not know you and going to help you go through the nightmares, the challenges, and why people act the way they act right now, when you feel as though they should be just a little bit more, have a little bit more compassion about what it is that you've been through. No, they are going to surprise the heck out of you. So guess what? It's okay to let them go. Sometimes people are in your life for a season, and you have to know when their season is up. Just like you resign from a job, resign from people that you feel as though is not listening to you, not there for you, the Johnny come latelys when you needed help all this time. I get it. So I have just celebrated the 2nd year anniversary of October 1, the Las Vegas massive shooting. 58 people were killed. Over 400 something individuals were injured. And if you've been watching the media, by now you would be thinking, So they've got this lawsuit of $800 million that's going to be paid out to the deceased and the survivors and those that have filed a claim. Well, I'm not going to talk about that because you know what, some things you just need to say, pause. Just put a pause on that. Because guess what? You will never be the same. Ever, ever, ever. So quit thinking you are that same person, because you are not. What you need to do now is figure out who you are. So I want you to think about I am. I am what? What are you? Are you a giver? Are you a caring person? You have I am a business owner. I am whatever. For me, I am safe. I am healed. That's what I'm working on. So I want you to start thinking about your I am. And you fill in the blanks. Get some little Post-its and write I am what. Stick it on a mirror in the bathroom. I am what. Put it on your refrigerator. I am what. Put it in your bedroom. If you have a bathroom in your bedroom, there's another mirror. Stick it there. You get ready to go take a shower. I am what? Because you are the one that has to start changing. Because people around you, they are showing you who they are. And I need you to believe them. So whatever you see, I need you to believe them. And I need you to remember, you are bigger than your job. You are bigger than whatever it was or is that you were going through. Just hold on. Because guess what? I'm going to tell you a little secret. It doesn't matter how old you are. Your life, your true life really begins when you find out who you are. Let me say that one again for you. Your life, whether you 20, whether you 40, whether you 60, whether you 80, your life begins when you, not what somebody else say that you are, when you find out who you are. So remember, I was so angry with God that this happened to me. Where was God when the shooter was shooting 4,000 rounds of shots and trying to kill us? Where was God? But you know what? God doesn't make any mistakes. I had to remember, why was I there? I chose to go work the country concert. So now I must heal. I must heal. Because if this is what you said you were going to do, God is not going to stop you. He's not going to stop you. He's not going to get in the way, because you already had your mind up that you were going to go ahead and go. So remember, people don't dictate who you are. Your life begins when you find out who you are. Now, because we are a survivor, our emotions is just so messed up. Don't let your emotions get in the way. Your feelings, your history, whatever you're responding to, the YouTube videos, was it another shooter? What my mother said, what my father said, people are not speaking to me anymore. So what? So what? Don't let your emotions get in the way of who you are. Go back to I am. You are what? You are what? I am. Let's dig deeper and go into the episode. The episode today, October the 6th, number 15, is the system. So now the tragedy has happened. Was there a crisis center available for you? Was there one? Was there anybody taking you or come to pick you up and take you to the crisis center. How was the crisis center? How do you feel as though they handled you? How do you feel? Because we have to still deal with that. So for me, I'm sharing. I think it was 2 to 3 weeks later when I finally went to the crisis center. So by then, half of the money was already gone. So most of the people that were stranded or really not hurt per se, they were able to step up right away and take advantage of those things. Most people that were in the hospital, still tripping like myself, like don't want to go outside, trying to figure out what freaking happened. It can't be real. We didn't want to go out of the house. So about time I went, per se, at the beginning they were giving away $5,000. The second week they were giving away $2,500. About time I went, they were giving away $100, $500. $1,000 was like the most you were able to get at the crisis center. So what happened with you? This is when you needed a friend, your spouse, to say, I know you're not doing well, but just put some clothes on. Let's go to the crisis center. Okay? So that's number one. And then that way you can get some help. You can get some therapy. Again, this is all a part of the system. And they fly people in from all over the world that can come and speak to you, kind of counsel to you, but they just want to make sure they're pointing you in the right direction. Now remember when I said people fly in from all over the world. So if you're flying in from Florida, from San Diego, from Washington, D.C., you really don't know what type of resources Nevada have. So I can only speak about Las Vegas, Nevada. So the person that counseled me, she was from Florida. And I remember her giving me this piece of paper, and it had all these different counseling facilities on them, maybe like 10. We sat down. She called 1 or 2 places, scheduled me an appointment. They were so eager to see me and hear my story. But if you remember, I said the second time I went, they weren't there. The third time I went, I spoke to somebody else. By the fourth time I went, they were charging, when initially they said they were not going to charge. So, the system. How do you feel about the system? Do you feel as though the system really works? Or if it worked for you? So thus far, hear what I'm saying. My experience with the crisis center, my experience with the first therapist. You know, the first one is the one that can really kind of get you going after you've been through such trauma. Go back a couple of episodes when I talk about finding the right therapist. I've been through 7 therapists in 2 years. That's saying a lot. And I just now found one that I like. So if you're listening, you need some information, I need you to subscribe to the podcast. I need you to email me, LISHEY Johnson @gmail.com. Li Shey Johnson @gmail.com. And I will try to help you with some resources. So now, I am interviewing with victims of crime. Victims of crime is on a national level. So it doesn't matter what state you are in. If you're coming from gun violence or some type of tragedy that has happened, you can contact victims of crime. They are there to give you a one-time payment if you lost income, something happened, your child died, you weren't able to go to work. They will give you a percentage of your wages. So you're going to have to send them your pay stub, because Obviously, if you want them to take care of your income, they need to know that you had some type of income. Hello. Burial fees. They will help you bury your child, your loved one, whatever the situation is. I have found victims of crime to be the most, what word do I want to use? Everything that they said actually took place. How about that? Let me word it that way. The things that they said they can do, they did do. And it was without no hesitation. Okay? So then you have your church. Okay, let's talk about it. If you are a member of a church, did your church reach out to you? Did they send you a basket of some type, some fruit or some candy or whatever, some cards? Did someone come to your house and pray with you? Did your church pay like maybe a light bill or gas bill or a cable bill? Because maybe you have not gone back to work. What did your church do for you, or any other type of organization that you belong to? The Deltas, the AKAs, sororities, fraternity, any type of organization that you have been volunteering your time for years. Did they do anything for you? Just pay attention. That's all I'm telling you, is to pay attention for those that have been there for you, those that have called and checked on you, because people will show you who they are. And I need you to believe it. Do not let your emotions get in the way of what you are seeing. So now, what about the GoFundMe? Did they set up a GoFundMe account in your town? Well, in the state of Nevada, there was a GoFundMe account that was set up, and it was $31 million. Do you hear me? $31 million. Well, that's not enough for everybody. However, I feel as though everybody that filled out the application should have received something. Now, granted, the 58 that were deceased, yes, you can get a bulk of the money. But again, 31 million would not cover 4,000 to maybe 12,000 people that were there that night. I know they say 22,000. Well, they're talking about a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There was not 22,000 people there on a Sunday. It was anywhere between 10,000 to 12,000 people that were there. Remember, I work the event. Hello. And some of them chairs was empty in the VIP area. So let's back up. The GoFundMe. But then when you get people that, let's be very careful with this. If you were not there, but you walked the grounds later, you seen the aftermath, and then you don't have a program or something that is set up, you copy and paste somebody else's program. But that doesn't necessarily work from state to state to state. So as far as I'm concerned, and this is my own personal, I would have taken 31 million and I would have said, half of this is for Nevada, the other half is going out of state. So wherever you are, get in where you fit in at. But I'm going to also take care of my people here in Nevada who votes for me, who live here. We want to make sure that we take care of our own. And then we want to also take care of those that flew into town. That airline tickets were messed up. Lounging was messed up. We want to make sure we take care of you. But in a nutshell, 31 million was collected. Did you get any of that? So this is targeted right now to a survivor of the Las Vegas massive shooting. But wherever you were, Dayton, El Paso, Gilroy, did they collect funds? Where did you fit in? Are you a part of the system? Episode number 15 is being a part of the system. The system is something else. But remember, you have to fight. Unfortunately, you could be on your deathbed. You have to have strong people around you that if you have no fight in you, they can fight for you. If you don't have strong people around you, you're going to have to get up and fight for yourself every day. And I know you don't feel like it because I didn't feel like it. For weeks, I just wanted this shit to go away. But in the interim, I needed to process paperwork. This paperwork is something else because you have to keep telling your story over and over and over. You just want to copy and paste your story because every time you tell the story, you have to relive what has happened. And people don't get it, but you have to remember they know nothing about you. You have to build a case and tell your story. That's the system. The so-called system that we are now caught up in. Doesn't matter whether we like it or not. Because when you get back to that I need you to say, I am strong. I am determined. I have another fight inside of me. I am not giving up. That's what I need you to put into some of those I ams. I am a believer. I believe I'm going to be okay. Put some other action words in that I am because you still have another fight in you. Remember, life begins when you find out who you are. So maybe this is a fighter that's inside of you that you didn't even know you were, but now you have to fight for your life like it's the last thing that you do. This episode number is 15. It's very powerful because I'm a part of the system. I don't even like it, but this is where I am. And I don't have a fighter for me. I don't have an advocate for me. This is my way of fighting back by helping you so that you know not to get caught up. Don't get caught up. I've been to the Salvation Army. I've been to Help Link. I've been to Catholic Charities. So wherever town you are in, you have to Google like resources that are available to you when a tragedy happens, because they're not just going to give you this information. They're not going to say these are people that will help you pay your rent, help you pay your gas bill, help you pay your electric bill, because remember, everybody around you know what just happened to you. So let's see how many people step up to the plate and say, can I help you with your rent? Can I help you with your mortgage so that you don't lose your house? Can I help you pay your insurance? Can I help you pay your car note? Because you have to think about who is your top 5 or your top 10 friends. Are they in the same situation as you were? One paycheck away from being out on the streets? If that's the case, they can't help you. They can't help you because they can't even afford to help you. Because if they help you, then they're going to be struggling. Ooh, I'm saying something here. They're one check from being homeless. So this is what I say. We're part of the system. So you were injured. Are you on disability? SSI disability? Are you on Social Security now? You know, you were at the concert, you were in your 60s, you decided, I'm not going to go back to work. I'm just going to file Social Security. Well, let me tell you, I know you got a stack of paperwork. So that takes some time. because you got about 100 pages you have to fill out. It's not something you can fill out in one day and then send in and process. So about time you get accepted, they send it to you. You probably didn't lost your house by now. You probably didn't lost your car by now. But remember, you will never be the same. You'll never be the same. So you are going to have to download some resources, because your resources is not going to be your immediate church, your family, your friends. You're going to have to step outside of that box and find out what type of organizations that are out there in your state that have funding. So hopefully I have given you one or two nuggets. You can email me, Li Shey Johnson at gmail.com. I may know some other resources that's not at the top of my head right now. I just wanted to make sure that I upload the next podcast. This one I am actually doing live, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to, name drop different states to give you some resources. But every state, you can go through the welfare system or look at your utility bills, and it will say if you need help with your energy bill, which is your light and gas, call this number. You need to call them, and you need to also have a police report with a number. So that will help you. So when you call and say, I need help with my gas bill, I filed a police report, I'm waiting on some resources, I don't have any money right now, I haven't gone back to work. I know. It's all emotional. It's all draining. But guess what? This is a process. This is what I mean about the system. Are you caught up in the system? Remember, you still have fight in you. Do not give up. The system is not designed to really help you. Let me say it again. It's not really designed to help you. I know they say they want to help you, but you have to want to help yourself. Discover a new person that's in you. You will never be the same. Life begins when you find out who you are, meaning you are stronger than you think you are. What is your expectation? Your expectation is not everybody else's expectation. What is your expectation for yourself? You are the survivor. Don't give up. You could have died. You could have been number 59 if you're here from the Las Vegas massive shooting. You could have been a number, but you are still here. So it wasn't your time. It was not your time. I just want to plant a seed into you today by telling you, don't give up. You are bigger than your job. If you lost your job, you're bigger than that. There's something else that's greater for you. Don't put all your faith in people. I need you to believe in yourself. I am powerful. I am determined. I have still fight in me. And if you're on unemployment, that's another one. You don't feel like looking for no damn job, and they send you this paperwork saying, have you looked for a job? No, you ain't looked for no job. You still trying to get some therapy going. Guess what? A part of the system. Nobody really cares that you are a survivor when it comes to all of this county, the system, the welfare, Social Security, disability. They do not care that you've just gone through a tragedy where you just almost lost your life. You are another case, or another case. It's just a pile load of cases on their desks. You are no priority. There is no priority because you were involved in a shooting. There's no priority. So I'm going to leave you with the system really does suck. You are going to have to be an advocate for yourself. So if you have not filed any paperwork, I am going to encourage you to do so. There's no need for you to be struggling in the name of struggle because you are more than enough. Your life will begin when you find out who you really are. Thank you for tuning in on this Sunday. As I'm going to say, after all of that, I'm going to go get me some ice. I'm going to go get in my recliner. I am going to relax. Take a couple of deep breathing exercises. I am going to listen to some meditation. And I'm going to get myself together. Because at the same time I'm sharing, it also brings up things. And it's this toxin. But I had to get it out. And I needed you to know that you matter. And that you're not the only one dealing with it. And going through this craziness of the system. Because they want you to give up. And I don't want you to give up. Because I know there's still more fight in you. So don't give up. And next week we're going to talk about being organized. So now hopefully you are making some phone calls. You got all this stuff, all these little sticky notes all over the place. Because I told you when I started out with the podcast to just get a little journal, get a little scratch pad. Because eventually I'm going to touch on something that's going to resonate in your spirit. And it's something that you are supposed to do for you. So I'm going to leave you. Take about 10 to 15 minutes or re-listen to the podcast again until it sinks in. Because this is your life. This is your life. Blessings to you. Have a great week. And I need you to be in charge and make some things happen this week for you. God bless you.